So in the last class, we have studied about the diuretics, drugs acting on the kidney. So in this class, we are going to start the new section, that is drugs acting on the cardiovascular system. See, drugs acting on cardiovascular system, we are going to study about the myocardial stimulants. We are going to study about the vasodilators and antihypertensive agent. Then we study about the hemostats and anticoagulant. Then the anti-arrhythmic drugs. See, before going to the each section under this chapter, we should understand some basic physiological mechanism that happens at the heart. So we mainly focus on the electrophysiology that's going on in the heart. So first we shall learn about some basics about the electrophysiology that's happening inside the heart. See, as you know, the heart contracts, and the contraction of the heart, it is mainly under the control of the atrial and the ventricular muscle. And also there exists a specialized excitatory and conductive muscle. We call it as bundle of his and Purkinje fibers. See, with the help of atrial and ventricular muscle and the corresponding effort of the bundle of his and the Purkinje fiber, the heart contracts. And there exists cardiac action potential also. See, like we find action potential in the nervous system, like we find action potential in the skeletal muscle, so likewise we find this action potential in the heart also. See, what is the purpose of this action potential in the heart? See, what is the major thing, what is the major purpose of this action potential? See, whenever an impulse has to be conducted from one place to another place. See, likewise in nervous system, where an information, it will be conveyed from one place to another place, where the information will be packed in the form of action potential. So it will be generated somewhere, so it will be conveyed from generated point to the target site. So likewise here also the action potential, it carries some information. What is that information? We'll see later. So action potential is a part and parcel of the heart, so because of which heart contracts and relaxes, heart beat will happen. And this cardiac action potential, it is generated both in the non-automatic fiber and also in the automatic fiber. See, we get two types of the fibers in the heart. One is non-automatic fiber, another one is automatic fiber. So the action potential generated by non-automatic fiber, we call it as fast channel action potential, and that is generated by automatic fiber, we call it as slow channel action potential. So first we shall see the action potential that is generated at the non-automatic fiber. So in the non-automatic fiber, so as the name itself suggests, they lack automaticity. That means they lack spontaneous depolarization. So what do you mean by this spontaneous depolarization? That we will see later. So those fibers which lack automaticity are the capacity to generate impulse on its own. See, the name itself suggests non-automatic, so it lacks the capacity to generate the impulse on its own. Then how it conveys the information? See, like nervous system, see, nervous system, it conveys the information. See, for example, parasympathetic nervous system, sympathetic nervous system, it will convey the information. Once an action potential comes there, stimulate it, then it will release the neurotransmitter, then it will convey the action potential. So likewise in non-automatic fiber also, they will be depolarized for an incoming action potential. See, this non-automatic fiber, so from where the action potential will have to come and activate this non-automatic fiber, the action potential, it will be generated from SCA node or from AB node, then that action potential will come and activate this non-automatic fiber. So it lacks the property of automaticity, so on its own it cannot generate an impulse. And in general, the action potential, it is generated by the sodium and calcium channel. See, if there is opening of sodium channel, if there is influx of sodium ion, so that sodium channel opening, we call it as fast channel opening, and they will open and close quickly in a matter of 1 to 10 millisecond. And if the action potential is generated by opening and closing of the calcium channel, such opening we call it as slow channel opening, because they are slower to open and they remain open for longer time, like 200 millisecond. See, the action potential generated due to opening of fast channel like sodium channel, we call it as fast channel action potential. Those action potential generated due to opening of the calcium channel, we call it as slow channel action potential. So similarly here, see, I already told, non-automatic fiber, the action potential that is generated, that is conveyed at the non-automatic fiber, we call it as fast channel action potential. That means there will be opening of sodium channel, that is the one that is responsible for generation of action potential here. Whereas in automatic fiber, the action potential is generated by opening of calcium channel. That's the reason why we call it as low channel action potential. Then the action potential in the art, it is divided into 5 phases. So 5 phases, they are divided into 0, 1, 2, 3, 4. So in the non-automatic fiber, see, the examples of non-automatic fibers are the atrial muscle and ventricular muscle. They don't have the capacity to generate impulse on its own. So those are the example of non-automatic fiber. See, among atria and ventricle, so which is the biggest musculature which is responsible for the contraction of majority section of the heart is the ventricular muscle. So we'll take the ventricular myocyte as an example and the action potential that is generated at the ventricular myocyte. See here, I already told action potential, it is classified into 0, 1, 2, 3 and the 4. See, one by one we shall see what are these different phases of action potential. See, first we shall take up the phase 4. So what do you mean by phase 4? So it is nothing but resting membrane potential. So simply I have abbreviated, so it is not a standard abbreviation, so don't take this the same thing and write it in the exam. So RMP stands for resting membrane potential. So it will over around minus 80 millivolt to minus 90 millivolt. So why this minus 80 millivolt to minus 90 millivolt? So what are the electrolytes or what are the ions that will be causing this value? So at this stage the sodium and also calcium channels will be closed and there will be no influx of sodium. So at resting membrane potential, the sodium channels will be closed and calcium channels will also be closed, and there will be opening of potassium channel, and there will be through that potassium channel there will be efflux of enough potassium ion because of concentration gradient. So why this concentration gradient? So as you know, the concentration of potassium, it is more inside the cell. So the value of potassium intracellular fluid, it is more than extracellular fluid. So because of that concentration gradient, so whenever there is opening of potassium channel, there will be efflux of potassium ion. So during resting membrane potential, sodium and calcium channels are opened, so no influx of sodium or calcium, whereas the potassium channels are opened, so there will be efflux of enough potassium. So what will be the net effect? So the net effect is no influx of sodium because sodium channel is closed. There will be efflux of enough potassium. So when there is no influx of sodium and there is efflux of potassium, then the resting membrane potential, it should be more negative. So it should be more negative than minus 80 millivolt to minus 90 millivolt. It should be like minus 120 to minus 140 millivolt. Why it is not so? It is due to the activity of a transporter called as sodium potassium ATPase. This is the one that maintains the ionic balance inside the cell. See what this sodium potassium ATPase does. So whenever the action potential reaches the resting membrane potential, this will get activated, this transporter sodium potassium ATPase. What it will do, it will carry sodium from inside to outside and the potassium from outside to inside against the concentration gradient. So why against the concentration gradient? So if you look at the concentration of sodium and potassium, see sodium concentration in the extracellular fluid is 140, intracellular is 12, potassium extracellular fluid 3.5 to 5, intracellular fluid it is 140 millimolar per liter, right? So here the sodium is taken from inside to outside, that is from low concentration to high concentration, whereas potassium from outside to inside, from low to high. So it is happening against the concentration gradient. So here, since the sodium is taken from inside to outside, so what will be the concentration of sodium inside the cell at resting membrane potential? It will be obviously less, and marginally less potassium, less than the normal, because the potassium, even though it is taken in from outside to inside, there is already opening of potassium channel. So meanwhile there is an opening of potassium channel at the resting membrane potential. So there will be a flux of potassium and there will be intake of potassium by sodium potassium ATPase. So marginally there will be less potassium, less than the normal concentration of potassium. And along with this, there is a presence of organic anion, and majority, the predominant negative resting membrane potential, the negative value of resting membrane potential, it is mainly due to this presence of organic anion. So the resting membrane potential is negative in nature. See if, so it's already, it's a physiology thing, it might already covered under physiology section. So even then, so why the resting membrane potential is negative in nature? It is due to all this mechanism. Hope you understood. So this is the phase 4 mechanism, resting membrane potential. So next is phase 0. So what will happen at the phase 0? See, phase 0, once an action potential reaches the myocyte. See, I already told this non-automatic fiber, ventricular myocyte, it cannot generate impulse on its own. It has to wait for another action potential to come and activate it. So likewise, while waiting, if an action potential reaches the myocyte. So when it reaches the myocyte and electrically stimulates it, there will be sudden opening of the sodium channel. Why not calcium channel? Why there will be sudden opening of sodium channel? I already told it's a fast channel. So it is early to open, early to close. So calcium channel, it will take time for opening. So the first channel to open when it is electrically stimulated, the ventricular myocyte, when it is electrically stimulated, the first channel to open is the sodium channel. So there will be sudden opening of the sodium channel. So once there is sudden opening of sodium channel, there will be sudden influx of sodium ions. See, once there is sudden gush of sodium ions inside, the resting membrane potential, that is negative, it will go into the positive side. So there will be positive overshoot of the action potential. See, from the resting membrane potential ranging from -80 to -90 millivolt, it will shoot up to +35 to 40 millivolt. So that is phase 0 depolarization. It is happening due to sudden opening of the sodium channel. See, as channel closes quickly, why closes quickly? Fast channel. Since it is a fast channel, it closes quickly also. So the depolarization phase will arrest. So as and when this action potential reaches the +35 to 40 millivolt, the sodium channel closes, and that phase or that state of sodium channel, we call it as inactivated state of sodium channel. We cannot call it as closed state of sodium channel. See here, at the resting membrane potential, sodium channel is closed. During phase 0 depolarization, sodium channels are open. See, at the end of phase 0 depolarization, the sodium channel will be in inactivated state. So sodium channel during action potential, it will be in closed state, open state, and inactivated state. This we should memorize. Then after that, after the end of depolarization phase, it will be quickly followed by the opening of potassium channel. The potassium channel will be waiting to open. So then the phase 1, the first phase of the action potential will start. See, for a brief period, for a small duration of time, the potassium channel will be opened and there will be efflux of potassium. Why efflux? I already told, along the concentration gradient from inside to outside, causing partial repolarization. See, from resting membrane potential, the phase 0 depolarization, once the phase 0 depolarization end, the sodium channel gets inactivated. So there will be opening of potassium channel for a brief period of time. So it will be causing partial repolarization. See, phase 4 is resting membrane potential. Phase 0 is depolarization, rapid depolarization. Phase 1 is partial repolarization. Then the phase 2. See, in the phase 2, as already discussed, I told you the calcium channels are slower to open. See, in art, you find both sodium and calcium channel, whereas in skeletal muscle, we find only sodium channel. So in art, that is a specialty of that. You find both sodium and calcium channel. So luckily, this calcium channel, they are slower to open. So it will take time up to the partial repolarization. See, phase 1 is going on, where there is opening of potassium channel, there is an efflux of potassium. So during that phase only, this calcium channel get activated and they are opened at this stage. See, once this calcium channel gets opened, the potassium channel will closes automatically. So as already discussed, calcium channels are slow to open, so they opened, forcing potassium channel to close. And this calcium channel, once it opens, there will be influx of the calcium, and this influx of calcium, it will be for brief period, since it will be opened for 200 milliseconds. See, it is slow to open, so meanwhile it is slower to close also. So for a brief period you find the influx of the calcium causing plateau phase of depolarization. See, as a plateau phase will ensue, and this plateau phase of action potential we call it as plateau phase of depolarization due to opening of the calcium channel. See, after the duration of 200 millisecond, the calcium channel will close, right? So that will be the duty of calcium channel. See, after its specified duration, the calcium channel is going to close. See, once the calcium channel close, the potassium channel will be waiting, because its work is half done. See, it has done only partial repolarization. The work has to be done completely. So the potassium channel will be opened. It will cause the repolarization. So once it causes repolarization, that phase 3 will be complete repolarization. And later that phase 3 of action potential reaches minus 80 to minus 90 millivolt to reach the resting membrane potential. So as and when this action potential reaches the resting membrane potential, so till this stage the sodium channels will be in inactivated state. So once this action potential reaches the resting membrane potential, the inactivated state of sodium channel will transform into closed state of sodium channel. What do you mean by closed state of sodium channel? If any other action potential comes, so it will be ready to get opened, right? So that is the meaning of closed state. Inactivated state, so during inactivated state, whatever the action potential come and activate that sodium channel, it doesn't going to get opened. Okay, so 3 stages of sodium channel: closed, open and inactivated state. So likewise, 5 phases of depolarization. So what are the 5 phases of depolarization? I told you phase 4, 0, 1, 2, 3. So what is this phase 4 depolarization? It is an example for ventricular myocyte. See, the phase 4 depolarization is resting membrane potential. It is maintained by closing of sodium channel, opening of potassium channel, and also by the work of sodium potassium ATPase. It will maintain the resting membrane potential of minus 80 to minus 90 millivolt. If an action potential comes and electrically stimulate the ventricular myocyte, there will be sudden opening of sodium channel, so that there will be sudden influx of sodium ion causing phase 0 depolarization. So once it reaches the specified potential, so at that time sodium channel become inactivated, and there will be opening of potassium channel for a very brief period, causing partial repolarization. We call it as phase 1. So during phase 1, since the calcium channels are slow to open, they will start opening at the end of phase 1. So once calcium channel opens, the potassium channel closes, and there will be influx of calcium for a brief period for up to 200 millisecond. Once the 200 millisecond is elapsed, there will be reopening of potassium channel, calcium channel closes. So there will be ensuing of the complete repolarization. We call it as phase 3. Once this repolarization reaches the resting membrane potential, the inactivated state of sodium will get converted into closed state, and the action potential reaches the minus 80 to minus 90 millivolt. So this is about action potential that is generating at the non-automatic fiber, and we have taken the example of the ventricular myocyte. See, what will be the action potential, the type of action potential at the atrial myocyte? See, the same thing, since it is also a non-automatic fiber, the shape of the action potential, the phases of action potential will be similar to the ventricle. The only difference is the slow calcium channel, it will open only for shorter time, not for 200 millisecond. Say for it might open only for 160 millisecond, 170 millisecond, and potassium channel closes for a very small time. So phase 2 plateau is comparatively shorter when you compare it with ventricular myocyte. See, when you compare here the action potential of atria, see, the phase 2 phase is shorter when you compare with the phase 2 phase of the ventricular myocyte. So as a result, the duration, the action potential duration of atria, it is lesser than the ventricle. Okay, this is the reason why you find more beats from atria. See here, see, if you take for 10 seconds, see, for 10 seconds you can observe 3 beats, 3 action potential, or the atria has beaten 3 times, whereas for the same 10 second the ventricle might have beaten 2 times because of lengthier action potential duration when you compare it with the atrial myocyte. So that is the action potential that is generated at the non-automatic fiber. Okay, did you understand the action potential at the non-automatic fiber? Now the action potential at the automatic fiber. How the action potential will be generated at the automatic fiber? See, you know automatic fiber. So you get sinoatrial node, atrioventricular node, and the Purkinje fiber. See, Purkinje fiber, even though it acts as a non-automatic fiber, certain time, pathological conditions, certain physiological condition, this Purkinje fibers, it will take up the automaticity. So the prominent automatic fiber is SA node only. So if it fails, AV node. Then if it fails, both fails, then Purkinje will take up the task. So first is sinoatrial node. We shall take this as a prototype, like ventricular myocyte, what you have taken for non-automatic fiber. We will take sinoatrial node as the prototype for studying action potential of the automatic fiber. See, this SA node, it is having intrinsic rhythmicity, or we call it as intrinsic automaticity or pacemaker activity. See, pacemaker activity, see, it does not depend upon, or it will not wait for incoming action potential. See, what will happen in non-automatic fiber? The ventricular myocyte, it will not contract until an action potential come and stimulate it. Whereas SA node, it won't wait for any other action potential. So in contrast, it generates its own action potential. That means it generates its own impulse. So the impulse will be generated on its own, and that will be transported way along the heart. So that is the prominent feature of this sinoatrial node. It is having intrinsic rhythmicity, and it is independent of the action potential or hormones or neurotransmitter. See, no other action potential can influence this SA node, or no hormone can activate SA node, or no neurotransmitter can influence the SA node. So it will keep on doing its duty. It will keep on generating the impulses, and it will be transferring the impulses all across the heart. And the difference here, the action potential of SA node. See here, the resting membrane potential of SA node is minus 55 to minus 60 millivolt, whereas non-automatic fiber it was minus 85 to minus 90 millivolt. And this SA node, it lacks fast sodium channel. So that we should understand here, it lacks fast sodium channel, whereas in non-automatic fiber, the fast sodium channels were there. So as and when action potential comes, this fast sodium channel will be opened, and it causes phase 0 depolarization. But here there is no case. So there is lacking of fast sodium channel. Or if at all, if present, if few amount of fast sodium channels are present, it will be inactivated at this resting membrane potential. Then what makes this rhythmicity? What will produce this rhythmicity or automaticity? Instead of this fast sodium channel, there will be separate channel. We call it as pacemaker sodium channel. We don't call it as fast sodium channel. We call that sodium channels as pacemaker sodium channel. And this pacemaker sodium channel, it will be spontaneously, it will be open. So pacemaker sodium channel, it will be spontaneously open once the action potential reaches minus 55 to minus 60 millivolt on its own. See, once the action potential reaches the minus 55 to minus 60 millivolt, there will be spontaneous opening of this pacemaker sodium channel. So even though the opening pattern will be spontaneous in nature, but it will not cause sudden influx of sodium ion. It will cause progressive influx of the sodium ion, which slowly depolarizes the cell towards a threshold called as spontaneous depolarization. See here also we get 4 phases of action potential. Phase 4, phase 0, phase 1, 2 and phase 3. See here, this is the resting membrane potential. Resting membrane potential ranges from minus 55 to minus 60 millivolt. See, as and when the action potential, the SA node start beating once the fetus is impregnated, right? So once the fetus is implanted, the heart starts beating. So that is a starting point of the generation of impulse from the SA node. See here, once the action potential reaches the minus 55 to minus 60 millivolt, so automatically there will be spontaneous opening of what type of sodium channel? pacemaker sodium channel, and it will cause progressive influx of the sodium ion that will lead to the phase 4 depolarization. And see the phase 4 depolarization, it is very slow in nature, and this phase 4 depolarization, it will help in reaching the action potential to this threshold stage. See, there is a spontaneous opening of pacemaker sodium channel once action potential reaches -55 to -60 millivolt, which causes progressive influx of the sodium. It slowly depolarizes the cell towards the threshold, and that is called as spontaneous depolarization. See, phase 4 depolarization, we call it as spontaneous depolarization. And this spontaneous depolarization is a type of rapid depolarization. Can we call this spontaneous depolarization is a type of rapid depolarization? Can we compare this phase 4 spontaneous depolarization with the phase 0 depolarization? Can we compare the phase 4? See that way, what is that phase 4? So this is the type of action potential happening at the automatic fiber. So can we compare this phase 4 spontaneous depolarization with this phase 0 rapid depolarization? That's what been asked here. Spontaneous depolarization, it is a type of rapid depolarization. True or false? So it's an assignment question. So the answer is false. We justify your answer. So during spontaneous depolarization, what are the channels that will open and close? That we shall see. See, during spontaneous depolarization, potassium channels which are open during resting membrane potential will be closed. See, as and when, see, while repolation, the action potential, see, the action potential, it will reach the resting membrane potential, then there will be formation of spontaneous depolarization, right? So while repolarization, the potassium channels will be opened. So as and when the action potential reaches the resting membrane potential, the potassium channel will be closed. There will be spontaneous opening of pacemaker sodium channel. So during spontaneous depolarization, potassium channel which are open, it will get closed. At the fag end of spontaneous depolarization, SD for spontaneous depolarization, again it is not a standard abbreviation. So cut short, so I am writing that. So at the fag end of spontaneous depolarization, see at the end of phase 4 depolarization, at the end here, so at the end, the calcium channel will begin to open. So the calcium channel will begin to open. So during spontaneous depolarization, so in a nutshell, which channels will be opened? Pacemaker sodium channels will be opened, potassium channels will be closed, and few calcium channels will be opened at the fag end of the spontaneous depolarization. Okay, did you understand? So next is, see, once spontaneous depolarization reaches the threshold potential of -45 millivolt. See, I already told this phase 4 spontaneous depolarization. Once it reaches the threshold potential, so what is the threshold potential? The threshold potential is -45 millivolt. Once it reaches a threshold potential, many calcium channels and very few fast sodium channel. Not this is, I already told, there are few fast sodium channels also present in the automatic fiber. So as and when the spontaneous depolarization reaches -45 millivolt, many calcium channels and few sodium channel become activated and open, leading to phase 0 depolarization. So you can compare this phase 0 depolarization with the phase 0 depolarization of non-automatic fiber. The only difference is the phase 0 depolarization in non-automatic fiber, it is due to the opening of sodium channel, whereas the phase 0 depolarization in automatic fiber, it is due to the opening of majority of the calcium channel and opening of few amount of sodium channel. So phase 0 depolarization in automatic fiber, it is due to opening of mainly calcium channel and few sodium channel. Then phase 1 and phase 3. See, phase 1, phase 3, the same thing, but it is not clearly demarcated in automatic fiber. Now, why automatic fiber action potential is called as slow action potential? So by this time, you already understood why automatic fiber action potential called as slow action potential and why a non-automatic fiber action potential is called as fast action potential. See here, mainly the phase 0 depolarization. Mainly the phase 0 depolarization, It is due to the opening of the calcium channel and few sodium channel. That's the reason why you call it as slow action potential. So did you understand this? So here the action potential of automatic fiber. So here we are taking SCA node. So classified into phase 4, 0, 1, 2 and 3. See here it is having the capacity of automatic rhythmicity or automaticity or phase maker thing. See, as and when the previous action potential reaches minus 55 to minus 60 millivolt, so there will be spontaneous opening of phase maker sodium channel. So there will be progressive influx of sodium up to the stage where the spontaneous depolarization reaches the threshold potential. So here during phase 4 depolarization, there will be opening of phase maker sodium channel, closing of potassium channel and opening of few calcium channel at the fag end of the spontaneous depolarization. Once spontaneous depolarization reaches the threshold potential, there will be opening of more calcium channel, and that opening of calcium channel will lead to phase 0 depolarization. So during phase 0 depolarization, majority of calcium channels will be opened and a few amount of sodium channels will also get opened. So at the end, once it reaches the peak, so there will be phase 1 partial repolarization and very brief period of phase 2 depolarization, and phase 3 is the complete repolarization. So again the cycle happens here. So once the phase 3 repolarization reaches minus 55 to minus 60 millivolt, there will be spontaneous opening of the pacemaker sodium channel. Again the cycle continues. So likewise the action potential is generated at the SCN node. So SCN node, it is having steepest phase for spontaneous depolarization. So it is having a steepest phase for spontaneous depolarization. So acts as principal phase maker of the art. So why the SA node acts as principal phase maker of the art? Because of steep phase 4 depolarization. If you compare SA node with AV node, see AV node is having a shallower spontaneous depolarization. That means shallower spontaneous depolarization is, it will take time. The spontaneous depolarization takes longer time to reach threshold potential when you compare it with SCA node. See, SCA node, the impulse is generated, that impulse will be conveyed to the AV node, right? See, by the time the signal from the SCA node reaches AV node will be in that stage where spontaneous depolarization is still happening here. So once this action potential comes, it will help in reaching spontaneous depolarization to the threshold potential and the action potential will be generated. If SCA node, if it is damaged due to some reason, so if SCA node is damaged due to some reason, no impulse will reach from SCA node to AV node. See, AV node spontaneous depolarization on its own, it has to reach the threshold potential. So it will take time, but it will reach the threshold potential. So once it reaches the threshold potential, it will acquire the capacity of automaticity or rhythmicity. Okay, did you understand here? So that's the reason why SCA node is having, that's the reason why the SCA node we call it as principal phase maker. And why principal pacemaker? Because it is having steepest phase for spontaneous depolarization. Now the action potential at the AV node, it is very much similar to the SCA node, but the spontaneous depolarization is slower than the SCA node. See, God has created like that. See, why the God has created like that? So to decrease the competition between the SCA node and AV node. See, if the spontaneous depolarization, the phase of spontaneous depolarization, if it is similar for SCA node and AV node will also start doing everything, right? So that's why the God has made the phase of spontaneous depolarization slower than the SCA node. See, by the time the spontaneous depolarization reaches the threshold potential, the action potential from the SCA node reaches the AV node and brings about the action potential. If SCA node fails, the AVN will act as the phase maker. Okay, did you understand the action potential of an automatic fiber and the non-automatic fiber? So what is the difference between the action potential of non-automatic fiber and automatic fiber? See, non-automatic fiber, phase 4, phase 0, 1, 2, 3. So phase 4, resting membrane potential, opening of fast sodium channel, sudden influx of sodium, then there will be partial repolarization, potassium channel will be opened, then brief period of opening of calcium channel for 200 milliseconds, we call it as plateau phase of depolarization, then there will be complete repolarization. Here the non-automatic fiber, it has to wait for an action potential to come and stimulate it. Whereas in the automatic fiber, there will be already the action impulse will be generated. So it is generated from the time you take birth. So from the time the fetus has impregnated into the uterus, so from that time only the heart started beating. So once the action potential reaches the threshold resting membrane potential, there will be opening of the pacemaker sodium channel, causing phase 4 depolarization or spontaneous depolarization. Once it reaches threshold potential, opening of calcium channel, that is doing the phase 0 depolarization. Then there will be intermixing of phase 1, phase 2 and the repolarization at the phase 3. So that is the action potential of the automatic fiber and the non-automatic fiber. So next is properties of the heart. So related to this action potential, what are the properties? First one is excitability. So what do you mean by excitability? See, the strength of stimulus that is required to elicit a response or to produce an action potential. So how you measure this excitability? How you can tell? So you can easily excite this portion of heart, or it is very difficult to excite this portion of heart. So it depends upon the level of threshold potential at which cardiac cell can produce an action potential. Okay, so it is measured by the level of threshold potential at which cardiac cell can produce an action potential. See here, two example. See here, the resting membrane potential is minus 55 millivolt. So this is resting membrane potential is minus 50 millivolt. So I already told for an automatic fiber, the spontaneous depolarization as and when it reaches the threshold potential of minus 45 millivolt. Okay. See, from 55 millivolt to minus 45, so it's taking this much time. Whereas from minus 55 millivolt to 45 millivolt, it is taking very lesser time when you compare it with this example. So which action potential, the excitability of which action potential is more? Obviously the excitability of this is more. It is taking very less time to reach the threshold potential. The level of threshold potential at which cardiac cell can produce an action potential, we call it as excitability. See, for example, if the resting membrane potential, if it is decreased to minus 70 millivolt, what we call it as hyperpolarization. That means more time to reach threshold potential. At that time, what happens to the excitability? Excitability will be decreased. Hyperpolarization will decrease the excitability. See, in non-automatic fibers, the excitability is generally supernormal at the end of phase 3. See, why in a non-automatic fiber, excitability is generally supernormal at the end of phase 3. So that is an assignment question. Then refractory period. So refractory period, it is the time immediately after beginning of an action potential during which cardiac muscle cell is refractory to re-stimulation. So in a nutshell, it is an inability of the cardiac cell to be re-excited. So what you mean by refractory period is, it is the period for which you cannot re-stimulate in cardiac muscle fiber. See, once the action potential is started, so once the phase 0 depolarization started, even though whatever may be the strength of the action potential, for example, a strong action potential comes, so during which already the phase 0 depolarization is happening. So during that time, a strong action potential, it cannot start a fresh action potential. That period we call it as refractory period. So what is this refractory period in non-automatic fiber and automatic fiber? See, non-automatic fiber, refractoriness, it will be there till the recovery of sodium channel from the inactivation. So I told you here, the sodium here at the resting membrane potential, sodium channel will be in closed state. So during phase 0, it will be in open state, and during from the end of phase 0 till it reaches resting membrane potential, it will be in inactivated state. So refractoriness, it will be there till, how long it will be there? Refractoriness, it will be there till sodium channel, it will get recovered from the inactivation. Okay. So this refractory period, it starts from the onset of the depolarization. So it will start from this period. So it will start from the onset of the phase 0 depolarization and continues till the membrane potential returns to resting level, or till the sodium channel inactivation end. So till the sodium channel inactivation end, till it reaches resting level, that period, any strength of action potential, it cannot restart an fresh action potential. That's the refractory period of non-automatic fiber. Okay, refractory period of an this refractory period, it is a combination of effective refractory period, relative refractory period, and supernormal period. So refractory period, it is a combination, or it's a net sum of effective refractory period plus relative refractory period and supernormal period. And again, ERP is a standard abbreviation, not RRP and SNP. So to cut short, I have given this abbreviation. ERP is a standard abbreviation. So here if you see from the start of phase 0 depolarization, till it reaches minus 50 millivolt, till this action potential reaches minus 50 millivolt, so that duration we call it as effective refractory period. From the onset of phase 0 till the membrane potential reaches minus 50 millivolt, we call it as effective refractory period. And during that phase, any strength of action potential, it cannot re-excite the muscle fiber, and it cannot generate a fresh action potential. Then from the 50 millivolt to certain stage during repolarization phase, we call that period as relative refractory period. So relative refractory period, it can be re-excited by an abnormal strong stimulus. See, if an abnormal strong stimulus comes, the inactivated sodium channel, it might get converted into closed state from closed to open state. It might convert the inactivation. It might recover the inactivation phase of the sodium channel. Then at the fag end of the repolarization, we call that period as supernormal period. So during this phase, at any period, during this phase, supernormal period phase, a slight stimulus can re-excite the muscle fiber. That means during this time, this inactivation of sodium, it can end at any time. The inactivation can be recovered at any time. So if you pull together effective refractory period, relative refractory period, supernormal period, we get this refractory period. So refractory period is a net combination of effective refractory period, relative refractory period, supernormal period. Okay. So in non-automatic fiber, if you see the action potential there, the refractory period, it will be equal to length of or the duration of action potential. So if you observe here, the refractory period starts from the starting of phase 0 depolarization till it ends, till the action potential reaches the resting membrane potential. And that action potential duration is also the same thing. So in non-automatic fiber, refractory period will be equal to the duration of action potential. So coming to the automatic fiber, what will be its characteristic regarding refractory period? See, in automatic fiber, the depolarization, the phase 0, it depends upon slow calcium channel. Whereas refractory period, it depends upon recovery of inactivated sodium channel. Whereas here the depolarization depends upon the slow calcium channel. There the depolarization depends upon the opening of sodium channel. So even after an action potential repolarized back to the resting membrane potential, calcium channels are not available for re-excitation. So that's the reason why the refractory period, if you see in automatic fiber, it is more than the duration of action potential. So what is the type of action potential here? See, phase 4, spontaneous depolarization. Then there will be phase 0, depolarization. Then phase 1, phase 2. Then again it will reach the resting membrane potential. Okay. So here the refractory period will be there. So refractory period will be there. See, once the action potential reach the resting membrane potential, no doubt phase-maker sodium channel will be opened. See, only phase 4 depolarization ensues here. But the phase 0, the depolarization, the major part of the action potential, that is the major part of depolarization in automatic fiber, it depends upon opening of calcium channel. So till the time the spontaneous depolarization reaches the threshold potential, you have to wait to re-excite the action potential. That's the reason why the refractory period is more than the duration of action potential. See, action potential, it starts from the starting of spontaneous depolarization and it will end once the repolarization reaches the resting membrane potential. That is the action potential duration. Whereas refractory period, it starts from the starting of phase 0 depolarization until the spontaneous depolarization reaches the threshold potential. That's the reason why refractory period length is more than the action potential duration in case of automatic fiber. Did you understand this? And that's the reason why, which is protecting atria from circling back of action potential at the AV node. Again, the assignment question. So again, it is related to the refractory period. And which is protecting ventricle from atrial fibrillation. See, interesting thing. See, atrial fibrillation, it is more beats per minute. See, normal beats per minute in atria, see for example 80 beats per minute. In atrial fibrillation, it will go up to 150 beats per minute. And this fibrillation, see from atria, so if it is beating at 150 beats per minute, and that 150 beats per minute, it might transfer from atria to the ventricle, right? The ventricle will also start beating in the range of 150 beats per minute, but it's not occurring. So something that is protecting ventricle from the atrial fibrillation. What is that? AV node. See, AV node, the refractory period of AV node. So AV node is an automatic fiber, and what will be its refractory period? It will be more than the action potential duration. So even though atria is beating 150 beats per minute, it is coming here at the AV node, it will slow down here. See, the impulse will wait till the AV node completes its action potential. So by that time, it will protect the ventricle from the atrial fibrillation. So it is protecting ventricle from atrial fibrillation. It is a refractory period that is happening at the AV node. Okay. Then the next feature, conductivity. See, what do you mean by conductivity? It is a transport of impulse from one place to the another in all along the heart. So you know the impulse is generated at the SCA node. From the SCA node, it will go into the AV node. See, SCA node, it will go into the atria. From atria, it will go to atrioventricular node. From atrioventricular node, AV bundle. Then the bundle branches, then into the Purkinje fibers. Okay. So what is the time it will take? So from SCA node to AV node, it will take 0.03 second. From AV node to AV bundle, it will take 0.16 second. Why there is a lag from AV node to AV bundle? Observe here. Why there is a lag in the conduction velocity from AV node to AV bundle? It is to do with the refractory period of AV node. See, there the impulse will wait at the AV node. Come on, spontaneous depolarization, please reach threshold potential. I am waiting here. I want to re-excite you. But AV node is not doing that. See, it is waiting for spontaneous depolarization to reach the threshold potential to cause the phase 0 depolarization. So there is a lag of 0.03 seconds to 0.16 second. Then it will reach 0.18 second bundle of is then the Purkinje fibers. So conduction velocity slow down at the AV node, and what is the benefit of this? Again, assignment question. At the end, when the Purkinje fibers conducts impulse, why don't it re-excite atria? Again the assignment question. Then conductivity and cardiac cycle. What is the relationship between conductivity and cardiac cycle? You know the difference, the relationship between conductive and cardiac cycle. See here the SCA node is impulse will be generated, go to the atria. So that's the reason why atria will contract first. Then there is a lag from and then there is a lag in the conduction velocity of impulse from atria to ventricle due to the refractory period at the AV node. So here atria will contract aram se, relax aram se, then there is a refractory period, then the ventricle will contract and relax, and during that time it will be relaxing atria. So like that, there is a relationship between conductivity and the cardiac cycle. So in a nutshell, what are the difference? So we'll summarize. What are the difference between a non-automatic fiber and the automatic fiber? So features. The non-automatic fiber we call it as fast channel action potential. Automatic fiber we call it as slow channel action potential. See, site of occurrence. So you know non-automatic fiber, atria, ventricle and the bundle of is. The automatic fiber, SCA node, AV node and Purkinje fiber. So predominant ion responsible for depolarization, for phase 0 depolarization. Here it is the opening of fast sodium channel. And calcium is plateau phase of depolarization, phase 2. Whereas in automatic fiber, phase 0 depolarization is due to the opening of majority of calcium channel and few sodium channel. Then action potential divided into 0, 1, 2, 3, 4 and all are well demarcated. Whereas in automatic fiber, 4 is demarcated well, we got it as spontaneous depolarization. Once it reaches the threshold potential, then there will be starting of phase 0 depolarization, then 1, 2 not clearly demarcated, then phase 3 repolarization. Then activation. The activation of action potential in fast channel, action potential on non-automatic fiber will be fast, whereas in slow channel action potential it will be slow. Resting membrane potential, here it will be minus 80 to minus 90 millivolt, here minus 55 to minus 60. Threshold, here minus 60 to minus 70, minus 40 to minus 45. Then conduction velocity, it will be more in the non-automatic fiber, comparatively less in the automatic fiber. Then overshoot, in non-automatic fiber it will go up to plus 35 millivolt. That means the peak of the action potential will be highest for non-automatic fiber, whereas the peak of the action potential for automatic fiber will be less than that of the non-automatic fiber. It can reach up to plus 35 millivolt, whereas it can reach only up to plus 15 millivolt. Then the refractory period and the action potential duration. So for non-automatic period, refractory period will be equal to action potential duration, whereas effective refractory period will be less than action potential duration. Why it is so? I already told. See, effective refractory period, it is from the onset of phase 0 depolarization till it reaches minus 50 millivolt. So obviously this effective refractory period, it will be obviously less than the action potential duration, which will end up to the stage the phase 3 repolarization reaches resting membrane potential. Effective refractory period less than the action potential duration. Whereas here the the refractory period is more than the action potential duration. The effective refractory period, it is also more than the action potential duration. The reason I have already told you. So selective channel blocker. So any sodium channel blocker will block the impulse at the non-automatic fiber. Tetrodotoxin, local anesthetic. Very difficult to stop the impulse at the automatic fiber. Even then the verapamil has been given a calcium channel blocker. More chances to block an impulse generation at the automatic fiber. Then there is small basic about the electrocardiogram. So electrocardiogram, it is a reading of electrical activity generated by the heart, which is recorded by electrocardiograph. You know ECG. It will be depicted as P wave, QRS complex, then a T wave. P wave is there, QRS wave is there, T wave is there. What do you mean by P wave? It depicts atrial depolarization. QRS complex depicts ventricular depolarization. T wave depicts ventricular repolarization. See, and what about atrial repolarization? It is masked by this QRS complex. And any change in the functioning of the heart, it will be depicted easily in the ECG. See, PR interval. So what is the PR interval? It is a time duration from P to R. That means the time from the impulse that is generated at the SA node to reach the ventricle. That is the PR interval. What do you mean by QRS complex? QRS complex starts with arrival of the impulse at the AV node. QT interval. See, QT interval. It is a ventricular systole time, right? It is a ventricular systole. See, systole happens during depolarization. Diastole happens during repolarization. Okay. Then PP. What do you mean by PP interval? Time between atrial contraction. RR interval. Time between the ventricular contraction. So that is about ECG. So it is also important for studying different things under the different sections of drugs acting on the cardiovascular system. Now the assignment question. Spontaneous depolarization is a type of rapid depolarization. True or false? Justify. Automatic fibers action potential is called as slow action potential. Justify. If any cause leads to buildup of sodium ions already inside a non-automatic fiber, what about the fiber's excitability? See, suppose if any cause, it will lead to buildup of sodium ion. The sodium concentration inside the cell will be higher. If anything that is causing increase in the sodium concentration inside, preferably in a non-automatic fiber, then what about the fiber's excitability? Whether excitability is increased or excitability is decreased. If increased or decreased, justify your answer. Effective refractory period more than action potential duration in automatic fiber. Justify. So this true statement, you justify your answer. Then what might be the reason behind fairly long plateau phase of depolarization in atrial and ventricular muscle in a non-automatic fiber? In a non-automatic fiber, you have seen a plateau phase 2 depolarization. And what is the necessity of that phase 2 depolarization, the plateau phase of depolarization in a non-automatic fiber? In automatic fiber, you don't find that, right? So what is the necessity of that phase 2 depolarization for atrial and ventricular muscle, where preferably there is an influx of calcium ion? Then an impulse generated at SCA node, that impulse will be carried to the atrial muscle, right? So from atrial muscle, the impulse will go to the AV node, and from AV node, the ventricular muscle, and then that impulse will be waned off. Why the impulse does not come back from ventricle to the atria back and decreasing the load of SCA node, right? See, if an impulse come back from ventricle to atria, there is no need for SCA node to start an fresh action potential. Why it is not happening in the heart? What might be the reason? You justify your answer for this, okay? So you study this basics about the heart electrophysiology. Once you have a thorough idea about the basics of heart, so it will be very easy to understand the ensuing chapters under drugs acting on the cardiovascular system. Okay, thank you.